This is Modern Persian Food,
a culinary podcast for today's food enthusiast.
We talk about classic Persian flavors,
modern recipes,
and embracing culture and identity through food.
I'm Beata.
And I'm also Beata.
Welcome to our show.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Modern Persian Food Podcast. I'm your host, Beata Nazim Kelly. If you've been listening for a while, you would notice that today's episode is a little bit different. My co-host and business partner, Beata Arabian, could not join us today due to some conflicts, but Beata June, we're thinking of you and can't wait to have you back next month. Today, I'm excited to introduce a very special guest, Sahar Shomali, the talented pastry chef and baker behind Kouzeh Bakery in Los Angeles. Persian baking is so rich with tradition, and Sahar is helping introduce these flavors to new audiences through her beautiful and tasty creations. I've had the opportunity to try a selection of Sahar's special treats, breads, pastries, and I'm so excited to learn more. In today's conversation, we'll talk about her journey into baking, the inspiration behind Kouzeh, and how she brings ancient Persian flavors into our bellies, and what it takes to build a bakery centered around culture and community. Whether you're a passionate baker, someone who loves discovering Persian flavors, or you're just simply curious about the stories behind these beautiful pastries, I think you're going to enjoy this conversation. Let's get started. Sahar, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with us today. I know that you are super busy with your bakery and baking these beautiful treats, so thank you so much for being here.
Of course. Thank you for having me. This is wonderful.
Awesome. Let's just go ahead and start. Can you tell us what Kouzeh actually means and what your bakery represents?
Well, Kouzeh, the word itself, is a clay jar, usually used to hold water or wine in ancient Persian culture. And Kouzeh, the bakery, it's my baby. It's the thing that just gives me joy these days all the time. It felt like something that was meant to be from the beginning, and I just happened to start it at this point in my life.
I love that. So you were born and grew up in Tehran, is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And then how old were you when you moved here, and what were some of those things that you kind of missed from the culture of when you were growing up?
Well, I was grown up. I moved here when I was 22.
Okay.
So I fully grew up in Tehran, went to school there, went to college there, and then I moved here. And immediately within 1 month of moving here, I went to culinary school. I finished my college in Iran, got my bachelor's degree. I mean, we've had conversations for a year and a half before that with my parents, where I was just like, because, Persian parents, of course, they're not going to go like, oh yeah, you want to go be a chef? Go.
Right. Yeah, it's hard.
But, we've had conversations like that until, we came to an agreement on, I have a bachelor's degree. I'm going to go try this thing.
Yeah. Good for you.
Yeah. So, I'd already applied and got into the Cordon Bleu school that was in Pasadena. So when we moved, within a month of getting here, I was in school, just like chef coat, knife, standing there. I wanted to become a chef, like a full savory chef, the whole thing. Uh-huh. So I took the long program. I know the schools have closed down, so people might not be as familiar with the programs, but the program was like a 15-month long program of intense, like we were there every day from 6 a.m. to some like 2 p.m., either in the kitchen or doing academic work. And we had to do internships and stages and all that. So it was a whole thing. So I did that, got my degree, and went to like try and find jobs and things like that. But in the process, one of the benefits of being a student at that school was that they would allow us to apply for, like, volunteer for events. And one of the events, like I've been backstage at the Grammys. I've been backstage. I was doing all these giant things. I was in the back, like peeling potatoes and things like that. But we were there.
Yeah.
And one of the ones that I got to do was the Academy Awards. So I was at the Oscars. And that's where I met Sherry Yard and the pastry team at Spago.
Okay.
And because of that, I managed to get a job at Spago. And that's from there I switched to, and I remember I always say this, it was like Sherry Yard is the reason I switched from savory to baking, because I worked with her for the duration of, what was it, like maybe 3 days at the Academy Awards. And by the end of it, she asked me, she's like, so, what are you going to go, where are you going to go bake? And I said, no, I'm doing savory. I'm going to be a savory chef. And she just looked at me and she goes, no, you're coming over to the dark side. That's not happening.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah. That's how I went into baking. And she was right. Like now when I think about it, I'm like, what was I thinking? I don't want to be a savory chef. Like I'm completely, like my mental state, everything is geared towards being in baking and in pastries. So why did I ever think like I wanted to be a savory chef? That just doesn't.
Yeah, it just goes to show where life experiences kind of lead you to the next projects.
Exactly. So yeah, so that was that. I went to work for her. I did, what was it? Somewhere around like 5 years or so at Spago, on and off. Like I took breaks in the middle, started as a pastry line cook, worked my way up, eventually became the pastry sous chef. And then when I left Spago, I did a couple odd jobs here and there. And then I ended up being the chef with the Loop Group with Suzanne Goen and Carolyn Stein. So I did that for about 3 years, which was, oh my God, an insane learning experience. And I loved every minute of it. Amazing team of people to work with. Very talented, everybody. But it was a lot because I was suddenly in charge of the dessert and pastry program for like 6 different venues with catering. And then I think it was my first year with the group that they took on the Hollywood Bowl. So now suddenly, or maybe it was my second year. So now suddenly the Hollywood Bowl program was a part of it. Like, it was really big. It was really huge. And then once I was done with that, it was when the idea of Kouzeh started popping up in my head. Because at that point, I had been in the US for about 15 years, I want to say. Less, like 12, 13 years. And the entirety of that time, I had missed like barbari bread, like good Iranian, like Tehran style barbari bread. I'm sorry, because I know there's a lot of Iranian bread here, especially in LA. There's some decent, good.
Yeah.
Like you can get a good stangak here. I know that for a fact. But for whatever reason, I couldn't find the traditional barbari. Like all I can find was the giant big fluff barbari that they sell at the stores,
right?
Which has its own purpose and its own use. But it's like I grew up, there's a Kouzeh Bakery a 10-minute walk from my house in Tehran. And since I was a kid, like I remember my dad would just go out and buy barbari for breakfast and come back. And then when I was going to school and back, when I was old enough to be allowed to walk to school and back, I always walked by the bakery. And on my way home, I would buy one piece of barbari and like eat the whole thing by the time I got home before even lunch.
I love that.
So to me, that was barbari. It was a sourdough. It was hand pulled. It went into a stone oven. It came out fresh. You ate it hot. That was barbari. So I missed that so much. And I kept going around going like, why isn't anybody making that barbari? Like, why is everybody just making this one style? Why isn't anybody making the other style? And I remember like at one point thinking, wait, I'm a pastry chef. I know how to bake. Why am I walking around blaming everybody else? Like, why am I not making the barbari? Like, why is that not happening? And that's where it started. That's where the thought started. I was like, okay, so I need to figure out how to make that barbari. And I mean, I feel like I should say fast forward a year because it took a long time from developing recipe, sourdough starter, switching from, I had been working in professional kitchens for so many years. And now suddenly I was baking from home. And that is a completely different situation. Sourcing ingredients and figuring out how to get that result that I wanted. It took a while. It took a while to make that happen. All the time, like I was in between jobs, trying to find a new job because obviously you can't go without a job, right? Yeah. So like trying to get all of these things happen. It took a minute. It took a minute to figure it out.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. But yeah, that was it. I made the barbari. Finally, I got a decent good barbari that came out of the oven, and I ate it, and I was just like, okay, here it is. This is what I remember. This is what I wanted. This is what I remember.
Oh, I love it.
And that was, I would say, that's how Kouzeh started. That's where it was, the beginning, with a piece of barbari bread.
Yeah, the love of barbari, the inspiration of those childhood memories. I love that Persian culture in Iran of like getting the fresh bread. Like you go to the Donvai or the Nanvai place, and they have just the fresh bread coming out of these big ovens, and the smell. And you're right, like you could just eat half of it, like just walking.
Exactly.
And it's really special. And like you get it fresh every morning, like you mentioned your dad going and getting it every morning. There's such beautiful memories, and that's so special. I love how you were able to dedicate the time to recipe test and get the recipe like perfect the way that you envisioned it. And so that was the start. And now you have all these other breads and pastries as well. Were those all the other things that are on your menu? Did you have like special memories attached to them, or were they just like, okay, you're just kind of going around the whole country of Iran picking the different flavors and specialties?
A combination. Some of them I have memories of. Some of them are purely research. Some of them are other people's memories and information, which I love. It actually is one of the more fun parts of my job. Like when I had barbari down, at first my plan was like when the barbari happened, I thought I need to sell this because nobody else is making this. Like I have to do this.
Yeah.
So traditional bakeries in Iran, the Nunvais in Iran, are dedicated to one bread. So you go to the barbari bakery and they just make barbari all day. You go to the sangak bakery, they make sangak all day. Like that's how it happens.
That's right.
And in my head, I was just like, oh, I'm gonna open a barbari bakery, and that's all I'm gonna do all day. All day, I'm just gonna make barbari.
Yeah.
Which at the beginning sounded like the perfect plan. It's like just one item on the menu. That's all I'm doing every day. It's like it's gonna be great. It's gonna be perfect. But obviously, that wasn't a good plan. As I started like thinking about it, looking into how businesses are built, and also my just personality, which at that point I was just like, as I said, I was in between jobs and I was looking for like the easiest thing in the world to do. But I think anyone who's ever worked with me or known me knows that I can't actually be that. Like, I'm not that person. I'm the one who's going to go like, so what's the hardest thing we can do? Let's add on more. Let's pour more things on top of it. Let's just give me chaos and madness and I'll be the happiest person in the world.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
So I think it was like a week and a half after deciding that I would just have the one item menu where I was like, well, how about if it's two?
It's two.
How about if I add one more thing? Like, how about I add gisu? Like, gisu was another bread that I loved growing up, which we bought from a nearby bakery. And gisu is a milk bread. Can be any flavor that the baker wants. It's sort of like, it's like a take on a challah. So it could be anything. And I just remembered always eating it with honey. So I was like, so I'll just make gisu with honey. Like, and that'll be two items on the menu. Like, that's easy. I can do two. Two is fine. And then once I had developed the gisu, then it became like, so what if it's three now? Like both of my breads are from Tehran. That doesn't make sense. Iran is big. Let's look somewhere else.
Yeah.
So that's how it just snowballed one after the other. And with every single bread that I would research and develop, it was always so exciting. It was so fresh, so new that I would think like, oh, we can add one more. I think I did kelane next, which is a Kurdish bread that I'd never had before, but I had done research on it and I tried it and I made it happen. And it was so fascinating. I was like, wait, why is it that I don't know about this? Like, why am I so in the dark about this bread when it's so freaking fantastic? And after that, it went into, since my dad's side of the family are from Tabriz. So it's like, okay, so now I have to go into like, we need a bread from Tabriz. Like, it just has to happen.
Yes, represent.
So, I'm on the phone with my dad, my grandma. It's like, what do you remember? Like, give me something. Give me one piece of bread. And that's that, we did that. We did ishta kuka from Tabriz. And then, I called another friend whose family's from Kerman. I was like, so give me like something from Kerman. Like, I need, like, that's how it just went and went and went. And, 8 years later, I have, I think 20 something, almost 30 recipes. I don't make all of them all the time, so you won't be able to find them all at the bakery, but I do have the recipes and I do have all their origins and why they're made the way they're made, what makes them different from everything else. It's fantastic. I love it. I love it. And it's like keeping little pieces of Iran alive here in my head.
I love that. I love that. You definitely have an impressive list of pastries that you make. It's beautiful. I didn't even actually realize that there were so many different types of breads and kind of pastry, like the flatbreads, the filled flatbreads. I thought that those were really interesting. Can you tell us a little bit about those?
The filled flatbreads?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as I said, so kelana is one of them, which is a Kurdish flatbread in its original form. And I really love the story when I found out about it. So there's this herb that grows in the mountainsides over there in Kurdistan. It's called pichak. And it only grows for about like 2 to 3 weeks around New Year's time.
Oh, wow.
So this bread is actually supposed to be like a herald of the new year, because they pick the herbs, they chop them up, they make a very simple straight dough, they put it in there, they bake it on a hot stone, like flat, and then they brush it with butter and serve it immediately hot, brushed with butter, usually served with like a glass of cold dough.
Oh, okay.
I know. And I was just sitting there going like, wow, that sounds fascinating. That sounds great. Amazing. As I was researching more about it, it was like, okay, but that's just like 2 to 3 weeks out of the year. And the rest of the year, like that particular herb is not available. And pichak is sort of like a Persian ramps. Like it's in the onion family.
Okay.
So what they did was they went like, okay, so the rest of the year we'll just replace it with scallions, with green onions. Like that's how they make the bread the rest of the year. And I really love that. And I started playing with that idea. It's like I made a dough, I got scallions, chopped them up, throw them in, baked them, and it was delicious. But then I would say, pastry chef / like business owner part of my brain kicked in, where I was just like, yeah, this would be fantastic if I had a hot stone and dough and the filling just sitting there and I could make it to order for people.
Yeah.
But I can't do that because at that point I was a cottage bakery working from my home. It's like everything has to be pre-made, pre-packaged, pre-labeled before I sell it. It's like I can't put this bread into a packaging and sell it 2 hours later and expect it to still be good, because it won't be. Like that butter that got brushed on top is going to get all messy. Like the dough is it's just not going to work. So from then on, it went into, so how do I turn this into something that I can sell for retail that will still have its original form and spirit, but it can do that. So that's where like I switched from a straight dough to a yeasted dough, took the butter, and instead of brushing it on top, put it in the dough, and I sauteed the scallions with it and added a little touch of parsley and cilantro just to even out the flavor, because now I was cooking it and it was a different flavor profile. Like put the salt and pepper in there and all of that. And yeah, just started making it like that, and it worked. It's not the original kelane, but it works. Like it's as close enough to it as it is.
As a version of it. You're right.
Yeah. And people seem to like it. So we just went forward with that, and it was really good. I like it. I keep it. I always have a stash in my freezer that I just make anything on. It's soft, it's pliable. You can make wraps with it. You can just snack on it. That was one of them. The other one is the walnut one. So walnut, turmeric, and caramelized onions. That's in it. And that one is based off of my family members' memories of something like that they ate. They kept telling me, like, we had this bread and it had walnuts in it and turmeric and salt and pepper and things like that. And I was like, okay, so I'll take that and I'll play with it and see. And I try to make it into buns. I try to make it into like all these different things. And the flavor came through best when it was a filled flatbread. And the caramelized onions were, again, it was like, I ate it and I was like, it needs a little bit of something. And I feel like the Persian palate immediately thinks like, well, piyazda, like that's
right.
That's where you go. It's like, of course it needs piyazda. Like what else would it need?
Right. The basis of all Persian dishes really feels like it's piyazda, the caramelized onions, right?
Exactly. It needs to have piyaz dagh and it needs to have turmeric. I already had the turmeric in there.
Uh-huh.
So the onions went in and it came out. And I tried it. I was like, okay, now this is a piece of bread I would buy. And this is a piece of bread that would make people happy. And that's how that one came along. So we had kelan and dastane. And my third one, which I've been informed that pomegranates are going to come around early this year. So that makes me happy, is our pomegranate filled flatbread.
Oh, I haven't tried that one.
Yeah, that one's seasonal, so I have to wait for pomegranates to happen for that one to come around.
Okay, so tell us about it.
That one is from Boucher, so further south. And I remember like stumbling upon it as I was like looking up Iranian bread, and then it's like just came, I think it was on Instagram or something. And I just saw a video of someone, like one of those short videos of just like someone was popping pomegranates and then sauteing them and then bread. And I was just like, wait, what? How did that happen? Like,
wow.
Where, how, what is this? And I started looking into it and came up with, like, I saw what the bread actually is. It's called mushtak nari or mushtak anari. And it's a dough and it's sauteed pomegranates with onions and spices, and it goes in and it gets grilled like flatbread, and that's it. That's all there is to it.
Wow.
I know. And I started making it. I got all the spices that they said it needed, and because it's from the south of Iran, it's from Boucher, everything with there is slightly spicy or a lot spicy depending on what you're eating. And I just started going like, well, then it has to be spicy. Like I threw chili flakes in there. I was like, it needs to have a bite to it. This bread needs to have a bite to it.
I love it. Wow. Yes.
And it even surprised me when I was finally done with it, where I was just like, this is fantastic. Like you bite into it, you get the tart, you get the sweet, you get the spices, you get the hot. And
wow,
it's great. Once it comes around, I'm going to send you a batch.
I would love to try that. That sounds so interesting. So it's the fresh pomegranate. So it's not like a pomegranate molasses. It's like fresh pomegranate, and with like the seeds and stuff in there
with
too?
The seeds, everything.
Wow. I've never heard of anything like that.
Yeah. And I usually tell people when it's their first time, I go like, there's whole pomegranates in here. Okay. Like there's seeds in there. Just, it's not a smooth filling in there.
Yeah, I love that. I love how you're bringing these like ancient flavors and specialized regional breads and tastes and memories, really, and bringing them to the public now here, in California, and you're sharing that with people. And like, I actually hadn't heard of like several of the breads that you make and share with people. So that's awesome. I've actually been following you for a long time, like while you were a cottage baker, and then now that you have your brick and mortar storefront, I can't wait to come and actually visit it in person.
Yes,
but I'm so excited for you. It sounds like such a wonderful journey that you're on.
Thank you.
So you just opened your walk-in bakery. So I know you're really busy with that, but what do you see next? What do you see on the horizon for Kouzeh and your career?
Oh my God. I don't think I've even had time to think about the horizon and the future yet.
Yeah.
We're still trying to get through this part of it. We're practically 3 months old. We opened on the 17th of April. So, so now we've reached our 3-month milestone. My God. Can't believe it's been 3 months already.
Yeah. Wow. Mubarak bashe.
Like that caught me for a second. Give me 3 months.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It sounds like it's been a lot of hard work.
It's been a lot. Yes. And I wouldn't suggest it to anyone who's not absolutely in love with it. Like if you're not 200 to 300% in, it's gonna destroy you. So don't do it. But you have to be that insanely committed to it to be able to pull it off, which I'm sure anyone who's ever opened a business would tell you. It's not just me, and anyone would know. But yeah, it's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of fun. Just I'm addicted to that conversation with people where they come in and go, "Oh my God, what is this?" Like, and they get excited and they try new, and you're not the first and won't be the last person who, like, Iranian who comes up. It's like, I never knew this bread existed. It's like, yeah, it's like, that's the point. Like, if you haven't been to that part of Iran, you wouldn't know. I didn't know until I started doing this. Like, there's a lot of the items that I have that I didn't know until I started doing this. And that's the point. That's the point, is like, now you get to try something that you've never had before, but it represents your culture, and and you are going to know the flavors, whether you've had it or not. You're going to eat it and you're going to know, yeah, that's Iranian. Like, I know this combination of flavor. I know, like, this is what it is. So that part of it is fantastic. As I think any baker will tell you, the moment that particular moment when you open the oven door and you pull the tray out and everything looks great, that's a fantastic moment to be in. So I love that part, obviously. And that's why I'm up at 2 a.m, 3 a.m in the bakery, just like doing the thing and baking everything. And then there's the difficult parts, which I think, it's, again,
running a business,
figuring out all the nuances of, all the paperwork, all the different permits you have to get, all the little things that you have to take care of, all the big things you have to take care of, insurance, payroll, all of those things that come with having a business. And on top of all of that, again, I'm the baker. So I'm the one who's there from 4 a.m. to 5 or 6 p.m. in the evening, just like doing all of it, doing it all. So it has been a bit difficult, but nothing that I wouldn't do in any other situation.
Yeah, I can imagine. You obviously are very passionate about your business and about Persian baking and breads. And thank you so much for taking the time today to sit with us and sit with me and share your journey and talk about Kouzeh. And where can people find you? Where is Kouzeh and how can people order from you?
Oh, well, I mean, if you're in LA, we are in a neighborhood called Miracle Mile. The actual address is 5466 Wilshire Boulevard, Los Angeles 90036. But that would mean we're on Wilshire between La Brea and Fairfax.
Okay.
So if anyone's here, they would know where that is. We are 10-minute walk away from LACMA and the tar pits. So that also helps. If you want to go for a walk, see the new museum and all of that, then you can just walk down and find us. That is one way. The other way is to just go online on our website, kouzehbakery.com. Right now, we don't have a delivery option. So any order you put in, you're going to have to come pick up. Or if you're outside of LA, then you can ask me to ship it for you. And I do shipping inside California. We haven't started doing shipping out of California yet, just because I need to figure out all the taxes and all of that. And I haven't gone to that point. And the fact that it's fresh bread being shipped. So if it takes more than 2 days to get to its destination, it's not going to be that good anymore, right?
Right.
So I just need to figure out those details of how to ship them, where the cost is not insane, but it still gets there in time, and taxes, obviously.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So it sounds like, when people are down in the LA area, that sounds like a beautiful little day to get some fresh bread from you and munch on that and going to some little museums. That sounds lovely. I hope to be able to do that someday soon. We'll put all of your links in our show notes for anyone who wants to get more information. And for everyone listening, if you've enjoyed this episode, feel free to share it with a friend. And next time you're in LA, definitely stop by Kouzeh Bakery and get some shir mal or some gisou. And of course, your barbari bread to enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening, everyone. Thank you so much, Sahar June, for joining us. And until next time.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. You've been listening to the Modern Persian Food Podcast with Beata and Beata. Thanks for spending time with us. If you've enjoyed what you heard today, consider telling a friend or giving us a good rating. You can subscribe to our show for free on your favorite podcasting app or find us online at modernpersianfood.com or on Instagram for the recipes and information we talked about today. We'd love to hear your thoughts and see you next time.